In the race towards a clean energy future, cobalt has emerged as one of the most crucial materials, playing an indispensable role in the production of electric vehicle batteries and renewable energy technologies. However, the current supply of cobalt primarily comes from China, putting the US and other countries at risk of relying on a strategic rival for clean energy production. And now, a major shift is quietly unfolding in North America. Canada, America's neighbor, is heavily investing in building the first cobalt refinery in North America. With this project, Canada is not only strengthening its position in the clean energy supply chain, but also opening up a new avenue for North America's economy. This may soon lead the US to rely on Canada for one of the most critical resources of the clean energy era. So, what is happening in Canada? And why is this shift so important for the future of clean energy in North America? Let's dive into this intriguing story in today's video. If you agree with the importance of cobalt in the clean energy race, feel free to leave a 1 in the comments. If you disagree, leave a 0 instead. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. And now, let's dive into this story. As the world gradually shifts towards a clean energy era, key materials like cobalt have become essential in the technological race. Cobalt is not only a primary component in electric vehicle (EV) batteries, but also plays a crucial role in defense technologies and advanced electronic devices. However, the heavy reliance on a single supplier, China, has raised significant concerns about the stability and sustainability of the global cobalt supply chain. So, why is cobalt so important? And what might happen if the primary supply source from China becomes unstable? This article explores the factors involved and the lessons we can learn. Cobalt, is a metal known for its hardness and resistance to corrosion, widely used in advanced technologies, especially in the production of lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. EV batteries are at the heart of the energy revolution, helping reduce dependence on fossil fuels and lower greenhouse gas emissions. Research indicates that each EV battery requires a certain amount of cobalt, making this metal a critical material in the electric vehicle industry. In addition, cobalt is used in defense technologies, including the production of fighter jets, submarines, and other military equipment, due to its resistance to wear and high heat tolerance. Advanced electronics such as smartphones, laptops, and other smart devices also use cobalt in battery and circuit production, making the demand for cobalt indispensable in modern life. Currently, China dominates the global cobalt production and supply market. Statistics show that China controls approximately 70% of the world's cobalt resources. Not only does China have a significant share in mining these minerals, but it also plays a key role in the refining process. This means that China holds a crucial key in the electric vehicle, defense, and electronics manufacturing industries. However, excessive reliance on China could pose serious strategic and economic risks for countries dependent on imported cobalt. With increasing tensions between major economic powers like the US and China, these countries might face fluctuations in prices and disruptions in the supply chain. This raises questions about the long-term stability and security of cobalt supply. Currently, there are several factors making cobalt supply a concerning issue for countries and industries. Political and strategic decisions by China. China's policies could directly impact cobalt supply. If China decides to impose export restrictions to protect its resources, other countries may need to seek alternative sources, causing temporary shortages and driving up cobalt prices on the global market. The US-China trade war. Tariffs and trade protectionist measures have affected various industries, including cobalt supply. These policies could disrupt cobalt supply chains and increase production costs. Environmental and human rights issues in cobalt mining. Cobalt mining in countries like the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC, which supplies over 60% of the world's cobalt, faces environmental and human rights concerns. Mining practices in these regions can negatively impact the environment and the local population, attracting scrutiny and pressure from the international community. To mitigate dependence on China and address risks in the supply chain, countries and companies in the electric vehicle, defense technology, and electronics sectors need to consider several important measures and strategies. Investing in domestic cobalt mining and refining. Countries like the US and Canada are increasing their investment in domestic cobalt extraction and refining. Projects like building cobalt refineries in North America are vital steps toward reducing reliance on China. This will help ensure a stable supply and minimize risks from political and international trade factors. Research and development of new technologies. Innovations in battery and electronics production could help reduce the amount of cobalt needed. Researchers are exploring the development of cobalt-free or low-cobalt batteries that still maintain high performance and durability. Sustainable and ethical mining practices. Governments and companies need to take strong actions to ensure that cobalt is mined sustainably and ethically. This includes improving working conditions and the environmental impact of mining in cobalt-producing regions, ensuring that the process does not harm local communities or ecosystems. The current cobalt supply situation serves as a wake-up call regarding the importance of preparing and developing long-term strategies for material supply chains. Countries and companies must be aware of the shifting demand and supply of cobalt in order to implement contingency measures and make wise investment decisions. At the same time, seeking and developing alternative technologies can help reduce reliance on rare materials that may face supply disruptions in the future. Ultimately, the story of cobalt is not just about a precious metal in modern industry, but also a lesson in flexibility, innovation, and the importance of building a sustainable economy. Countries and companies that can adapt to changes and optimize resource use will have the opportunity to lead in the ongoing clean energy revolution. As the demand for materials in the electric vehicle, EV industry rapidly grows, Canada has taken a significant step forward by launching a project to build a cobalt refining plant, funded by the Ontario province with an investment of CAD 17.5 million. This plant will not only benefit the country economically, but also help meet the rising demand for cobalt, a key material in the production of EV batteries and advanced technological devices. The cobalt refining plant is designed to produce up to 6,500 tons of cobalt sulfate annually. This quantity is sufficient to supply material for approximately 1 million electric vehicles, which represents a substantial amount of batteries supporting the transition to clean energy and reducing dependence on fossil fuels. The construction of this plant is part of Canada's strategy to develop the EV industry and maintain its competitiveness as the global market increasingly focuses on sustainable development and reducing carbon emissions. The project, funded with CAD 17.5 million from the Ontario province, is a major investment in Canada's clean energy industry infrastructure. With this funding, the plant will not only ensure a stable supply of cobalt, but also create numerous local job opportunities. Specifically, the plant will generate about 50 direct jobs for workers, along with many indirect employment opportunities in related industries, from logistics to equipment maintenance. One of the strengths of this project lies in the economic benefits it brings to Canada. The cobalt refining plant will generate annual revenue ranging from USD 160 million to USD 230 million, depending on fluctuations in cobalt prices and market demand. This is a substantial source of revenue that will boost economic growth in Ontario, while also enhancing the production capacity within Canada's clean energy sector. The plant's estimated earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, EBITDA, is approximately USD 30 million per year once it reaches stable operations. This demonstrates the significant potential of the project to contribute to the national economy, creating added value not only through cobalt production, but also by supporting related industries such as battery manufacturing, electronics, and defense technology. The cobalt refining plant project will not only generate profits for businesses, but also have positive impacts on Canada's economy, particularly in creating job opportunities and attracting investments in the clean energy industry. As the EV industry continues to grow, the plant will become an important link in the global supply chain for materials essential to green technology, helping Canada contribute to the ongoing clean energy revolution worldwide. Furthermore, this project will positively affect Canada's competitiveness in the renewable energy manufacturing sector. With a stable cobalt supply, Canada can enhance its position as a leader in developing clean technologies, while reducing reliance on other countries in the supply chain for critical materials. The cobalt refining plant project serves as a testament to the importance of investing in green industries and clean energy. As the world moves towards low-carbon emission goals, initiatives like this not only help address the material supply issues for clean technology, but also create numerous opportunities for sustainable economic growth. Other nations can learn from this project in identifying strategic resources, investing in new technologies, and developing infrastructure for the renewable energy sector. Additionally, creating jobs and supporting local communities through such projects is a crucial factor in maintaining economic stability during the energy transition. Canada's Cobalt Refining Plant project is not only a significant advancement in the electric vehicle (EV) industry, but also brings many strategic benefits to the country. It plays a pivotal role in Canada's transformation from a supplier of raw ore to a high-value player in the global EV supply chain. These benefits not only impact the economy, but also elevate Canada's international reputation, influencing national mining and energy policies. One of the key strategic advantages of this project is Canada's shift from being a supplier of raw cobalt ore to an essential link in the global EV supply chain. Previously, Canada mainly exported cobalt ore to countries like China, which is known for its refining capabilities and the production of finished cobalt products. However, this project changes that dynamic, as Canada now enters the production of cobalt sulfate, a critical material used in manufacturing EV batteries. With the establishment of the Cobalt Refining Plant in Ontario, Canada is no longer just exporting raw minerals. It is also involved in the processing and production stages, adding more value to the supply chain. This positions Canada as a more competitive player in the EV industry, where other nations like China, South Korea, and Japan currently dominate. The in-country production of cobalt sulfate also reduces Canada's reliance on foreign countries, opening new opportunities for domestic businesses to grow. A critical factor in Canada's success in the clean energy sector is its reputation for supplying safe and transparent materials. By launching the Cobalt Refining Plant, Canada has enhanced its image as a provider of clean, sustainable, and ethical raw materials. This is crucial as the market increasingly demands companies to adhere to environmental protection standards, labor rights, and ethical mining practices. The Cobalt Refining Plant not only guarantees high-quality cobalt production, but also complies with strict environmental protection and sustainable development regulations. This allows Canada to attract international partners, particularly from the EV industry, who are increasingly interested in ensuring a stable and sustainable supply of crucial materials like cobalt. Transparency in production processes and quality assurance is key to building trust within the international community, fostering a healthy and long-lasting collaborative environment. The Cobalt Refining Plant project not only influences the economy, but also significantly impacts Canada's mining and energy policies, particularly concerning Bill C-5, a vital piece of legislation aimed at regulating and developing the nation's energy and resource sector. Bill C-5, which seeks to create a more stringent legal framework for mining and energy activities in Canada, could receive strong support from projects like the Cobalt Refining Plant. The shift from mining raw ores to refining valuable minerals like cobalt serves as a clear example of the importance of adopting new and sustainable technologies in the mining industry. This will drive the Canadian government to encourage investments in clean energy industries and renewable technologies through favorable policies. Moreover, with the growth of projects like the Cobalt Refining Plant, Canada can increase its independence in the global supply chain for critical materials, reducing reliance on countries outside its region. This aligns with Canada's long-term goals of becoming a leader in renewable energy and clean industries, while also pushing for policies that are environmentally friendly and protect national resources. The project also positively impacts Canada's international relations, especially amid growing competition for materials essential for green technology. As Canada becomes a reliable supplier of refined cobalt, it will strengthen its position on the global stage, particularly within the EV industry. Countries and companies seeking sustainable and stable sources of key materials like cobalt will view Canada as a trusted strategic partner. Supplying refined cobalt from Canada not only ensures supply security, but also helps reduce dependence on unstable nations within the global mineral supply chain. This brings long-term strategic benefits to both Canada and its international trade partners, helping to maintain stability in the production and distribution of advanced technologies. If you agree with the strategic benefits of the Cobalt Refinery project, Don't forget to leave a 1 in the comments. If you don't agree, leave a 0. Don't forget to like, share this video, and subscribe to support the channel. Stay tuned for more updates on this story. Canada's Cobalt Refining Plant project is not only a significant advancement in the clean energy industry, but also provides a strong strategic advantage in the fierce competition with countries like China and the United States. This development not only strengthens Canada's position in the global supply chain, but also opens up new opportunities in trade relations with the US, particularly in negotiations about automotive origin rules, electric vehicles, and defense. In the race to supply cobalt, a critical material for electric vehicle, EV batteries, and high-tech devices, China currently dominates the mining, refining, and global supply of cobalt. China controls most of the global cobalt refining activities, making countries reliant on its supply to maintain operations in the EV industry. However, this dependence not only creates risks in the supply chain, but also raises concerns about sustainability and supply security. The United States, one of the largest consumers of cobalt-containing products, is currently dependent on China for cobalt refining. This dependence makes it challenging for the US to ensure a stable and secure supply for its critical industries, including the EV and defense sectors. Therefore, seeking independent and reliable cobalt suppliers has become a key factor in reducing reliance on China. Canada's Electra project helps mitigate this dependency by producing refined cobalt locally. Electra is one of the pioneering companies investing in cobalt refining plants in North America, providing a reliable and stable supply of cobalt right on North American soil. This move not only minimizes risks related to political and trade factors, but also boosts Canada's strategic role in the global clean energy supply chain. Electra's cobalt refining plant will not only serve domestic markets, but will also meet the demand of EV manufacturers and other industries in North America. This creates a dependable and secure supply for countries in the region, especially the United States, helping reduce reliance on China and laying the foundation for sustainable growth in the EV and renewable energy industries. The development of Canada's cobalt industry will significantly impact trade relations with the US, particularly in negotiations about automotive origin rules, electric vehicles, and defense. Cobalt, along with other essential materials, could become a strategic factor in trade agreements and policies related to EV manufacturing and defense technology. In discussions between Canada and the US on automotive origin rules, EVs, and defense, Canada can leverage its strategic position in the cobalt supply chain to secure favorable terms. By becoming a reliable cobalt supplier and controlling this supply chain, Canada will have a stronger voice in trade negotiations. Moreover, providing cobalt from Canada helps the US secure a stable supply for its critical industries, reducing reliance on other international partners, especially China. This will enhance bilateral relations between the two nations in the context of global competition for clean energy and EV technology. As one of the key suppliers of refined cobalt in North America, Canada can use this advantage to build strong negotiating relationships with the US and other countries. This strategic advantage allows Canada to not only increase its influence in origin rule negotiations, but also open opportunities for collaboration in EV development, defense technology, and renewable energy projects. Canada can propose collaborative policies on producing and supplying essential materials, while also promoting the development of clean and sustainable technologies. This will not only bring economic benefits to Canada, but also strengthen its position as a strategic partner in the renewable energy and EV industries. Canada has long played a significant role in the energy and mineral industries, not only as a major supplier, but also as a strategic partner in providing essential resources to other countries, particularly the United States. With its favorable geographical position and abundant natural resources, Canada has become one of the leading nations in supplying key minerals such as uranium, nickel, cobalt, and potash. In addition, the country is increasing its efforts to become a leader in renewable energy, contributing positively to the global energy transition. Below is a detailed analysis of Canada's energy and mineral resource situation. Canada stands out not only in providing traditional energy sources such as oil and natural gas, but also in supplying a wide range of essential minerals for modern industries, especially in the electric vehicle, EV, and agriculture sectors. Among these, minerals like uranium, nickel, cobalt, and potash are critical. Canada is one of the largest suppliers of uranium to the United States, accounting for about 27% of the U.S. uranium imports. Uranium is vital for nuclear energy production, and demand for nuclear power is increasing, especially in the context of the global shift to clean energy to reduce carbon emissions. With the rapid growth of the electric vehicle industry, the demand for nickel and cobalt, which are crucial for the production of lithium-ion batteries, is also rising. Canada is one of the largest suppliers of both minerals, serving not only domestic needs but also international markets, especially the US and Europe, which are pushing for increased EV production. Potash is an essential material in agriculture, especially for fertilizer production. Canada is one of the largest global suppliers of potash, playing a key role in sustaining sustainable agricultural production and supporting food security worldwide. In addition to continuing to develop its mining industry, Canada is also focusing on renewable energy sources to accelerate the transition to a green economy. The Canadian government has implemented strong policies and investments to expand the production of solar, wind, hydrogen, and nuclear energy. Canada has ramped up production from renewable sources like solar and wind energy. These renewable energy projects not only reduce dependence on fossil fuels, but also help lower greenhouse gas emissions, contributing to global climate change mitigation goals. Hydrogen energy is one of Canada's strategic paths in developing renewable energy. The country has significant hydroelectric potential, especially in regions like British Columbia and Quebec, where large rivers and lakes provide ideal conditions for hydroelectric projects. Nuclear energy. Although nuclear energy faces some safety controversies, Canada continues to invest in nuclear power plants as an integral part of its clean energy strategy. Existing nuclear plants not only provide stable energy supplies but also contribute to reducing carbon emissions, helping achieve climate change mitigation targets. Another crucial factor in Canada's energy and mineral strategy is investment in infrastructure to connect resources from mines to markets. This helps enhance transportation and distribution efficiency, reduce production costs, and optimize supply chains. Canada has begun implementing major infrastructure projects such as pipeline routes, seaports, and railway systems to link mining areas with major markets, particularly the United States and European countries. The Canadian government is also focusing on developing renewable energy infrastructure, including electric vehicle charging stations and energy storage systems. These infrastructures not only serve domestic needs, but also help Canada increase the export of clean energy and create opportunities for international cooperation. Canada is a key trade partner for the United States and other countries in supplying essential minerals for industry and energy. Especially as nations search for sustainable sources of renewable energy and minerals, Canada has the opportunity to strengthen its strategic position. Investing in energy and mineral infrastructure not only enhances Canada's ability to supply critical materials, but also creates a solid foundation for building long-term, sustainable partnerships with countries like the United States. The trade relationship between the United States and Canada has always played a pivotal role in the economies of both countries, especially as tariffs and trade policies are rapidly evolving. Tariffs not only affect the flow of goods and services between the two nations, but also play a strategic role in promoting trade opportunities, protecting domestic industries, and maintaining Canada's competitive edge in the global market. Below is a detailed analysis of this relationship and the strategies Canada employs to leverage tariffs and strengthen its international position. The US and Canada share a vast trade relationship, with Canada being the largest trading partner of the United States. However, in recent years, this relationship has become more complex due to the increasing imposition of tariffs and trade protectionist policies. Tariffs, especially the enhanced ones imposed by the US government on imports from other countries, including Canada, have created significant tension in the trade relations between the two countries. Canada's key industries, including agriculture, automotive, and energy, have been directly impacted by the US tariff measures. Although Canada has engaged in negotiations to mitigate the impact of these tariffs, the decisions made still have widespread consequences for the country's economy and trade strategy. Nevertheless, Tariffs also create opportunities for Canada to seek new trade partners and strengthen relationships with other countries, particularly in Europe and Asia. While tariffs may present challenges in trade relations, Canada has skillfully used this situation to create new opportunities in international trade and maintain its strategic advantage. Firstly, Canada has sought to strengthen its free trade agreements with partners outside the North American region, particularly with European and Asian countries. The Canada-European Union (CETA) agreement is a prime example, enabling Canada to expand export markets and reduce the impact of U.S. tariff policies. In addition, Canada has bolstered measures to protect its domestic industries by implementing tariffs on goods imported from other countries, especially for products that Canada can produce and export more efficiently. This not only safeguards strategic industries but also helps maintain national economic revenue. One of the critical sectors where Canada can leverage tariffs is in the energy industry. Tariffs can protect Canada's renewable energy projects, particularly in sectors such as wind, solar, and hydro energy, where Canada is striving to increase its role as a reliable clean energy provider. In light of U.S. tariff policies, Prime Minister Mark Carney has developed a strong diplomatic and trade strategy aimed at strengthening Canada's relationships with key partners in Europe and other regions. Prime Minister Carney, with special efforts in promoting free trade agreements and energy cooperation, has helped elevate Canada's position on the international stage, particularly in the renewable energy and nuclear energy sectors. Under Prime Minister Carney's leadership, Canada has signed several energy cooperation agreements with European countries, including the supply of hydrogen, natural gas, and essential mineral resources. These agreements not only help Canada expand export channels, but also allow the country to participate in green and sustainable energy projects in Europe, particularly as the demand for clean energy and environmental protection increases. Canada has strategically positioned itself to become a leading supplier of renewable energy. Alongside strengthening relationships with trade partners, Canada also focuses on reinforcing domestic energy policy by investing in renewable energy projects and developing energy infrastructure. This ensures that Canada not only maintains energy supply stability domestically, but also creates significant opportunities for global energy exports. Energy and minerals are not only essential for the economy of each nation, but also play a strategic role in the context of globalization and climate change. Specifically for North America, energy and minerals are decisive factors not only in maintaining economic development, but also in protecting national security and establishing a global position. Canada, with its abundant natural resources, has affirmed its role as a strategic energy power, serving not only domestic needs, but also making significant contributions to the global supply chain, especially in the electric vehicle and renewable energy industries. By investing in renewable energy sources such as solar, wind, hydrogen, and nuclear energy, along with efforts to maintain and develop critical minerals like uranium, nickel, cobalt, and potash, Canada is solidifying its position as a strategic energy powerhouse. Clean energy projects not only help Canada reduce its reliance on fossil fuels, but also elevate its national profile in exporting renewable energy to meet the growing global demand for clean energy. Particularly in the context of the global transition to a low-carbon economy, Canada has a significant opportunity to lead in providing renewable energy and essential minerals, contributing to goals of reducing greenhouse gas emissions and protecting the environment. The Canadian government's policies, alongside international cooperation strategies, create a great opportunity to develop and maintain stability in the energy sector, ensuring that Canada remains not just a supplier but a strategic global partner in clean energy. The trade and energy relationship between Canada and the U.S. will continue to play a crucial role in future trade negotiations and national security. The U.S. is one of Canada's largest trade partners, and the supply of energy and minerals from Canada helps protect the economy of both nations. Minerals like nickel, cobalt, and uranium, along with renewable energy, will remain key factors in discussions between the two countries, not only on trade issues, but also in national security strategies. In light of fluctuating tariff policies and global trade wars, the trade relationship between Canada and the U.S. has become even more significant. Both countries understand the necessity of maintaining stability in energy and mineral supply chains while protecting their strategic industries. With Canada supplying large quantities of clean energy and essential minerals, the US can reduce its dependence on other nations while strengthening its long-term partnership with Canada. Looking forward, the continued extraction and development of energy and mineral resources will play a decisive role in bolstering North America's economy. The growth of the electric vehicle and renewable energy industries will drive demand for crucial materials such as cobalt, nickel, and lithium. Canada, with its abundant resources, is in a strategic position to meet this demand and contribute to the sustainable development of North America. Meanwhile, international cooperation in energy and minerals will be the key to Canada's continued success, allowing the country to not only maintain its position, but also expand its influence in global issues such as climate change and energy security. The collaborative relationship with the US and other nations will create strong development opportunities for both countries while stabilizing economies and protecting strategic interests. Energy and minerals will play a critical role in the future economic landscape of North America, with Canada firmly established as a strategic energy powerhouse. These resources will not only help Canada maintain domestic development, but also allow the country to become a key global partner in providing clean energy and essential minerals. The trade and energy relationship between Canada and the US will continue to be pivotal in trade negotiations and national security, further solidifying North America's position in an energy and environment-driven world. Thank you for watching the video. If you agree with the important changes in the energy and mineral industries, don't forget to leave a 1 in the comments. If you have a different perspective, leave a 0. Please like, share this video, and subscribe to continue following our fascinating stories. Thank you for your support, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to not miss out on upcoming videos.